Well, welcome Vino 301 family. I am here with Robin, who is the owner of Hills Farm and Vineyard. Thank you so much for participating in our series.
Well, thank you for coming out, and thank you for being a supporter of ours. So,
Well, I can't wait to start talking about Hidden Hills. About yourself?
sure. So I moved here 8 years ago, and my husband had a horse farm, and I've always ridden and been interested in horses. But it was a beautiful property, and I felt that we should be growing something. So I thought we should be growing wine vines, since I have had the opportunity in my life to live in many parts of the world, and some of them particularly distinguished wine regions.
So we should tell everyone we are in Mount Airy, Maryland, which is right outside of Frederick, Maryland.
I'm in Frederick, Maryland.
You actually
we are
are?
actually in
Okay,
Frederick.
so you're not Mount Airy.
No.
Get out of
So,
here.
yeah.
Okay, so you're part of the city of Frederick?
We're Frederick County.
You're Frederick County. Okay.
But we actually have a zip code for the same as the
Do
city
you
of Frederick.
really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it's gorgeous. I wish if it wasn't so blistering cold out today, we would be outside. But it's a gorgeous piece of property, and so the farm is a horse. They're a horse. Is it? Would you say a horse farm or?
It's a horse boarding facility. We have
Uh-huh.
14 horses right now.
Okay.
And most of them are high-end competition horses, and their owners are seeking very high-end care. So
Okay.
we've always been that sort of facility. We have 3 riding arenas, and including an indoor, and we have all 4 kinds of competition footings. There's obviously grass, there's sand, there's bluestone, and in the indoor we have a special footing for the horses, and then we can simulate all kinds of competitive English saddle riding environments.
That's pretty impressive, and that is a lot.
It's a
And
lot.
so, I mean, that is a lot.
Right.
That I'm quite sure kept you busy before you opened the vineyard.
Right.
And now you've opened the vineyard, and
Right.
the tasting room, and we're in the tasting room now, which is a part of Robin's home. It's a gorgeous tasting
Thank
room.
you.
It's been open for 2-3 years.
We've been selling wine for about 2 years.
2 years now,
So
okay.
we obviously had the vines in the ground for 5 years. We have approximately 17 acres of wine, and our goal is to have 20 acres total on the property.
Okay, so when do you sleep? Like between the horses and the vines?
Yeah.
How do you do it? Like, how did you say, honey, I'm really fulfilled with the horses and the stables and competition, but we just need to do one more thing. What drew you to the wine?
Well, as I said, I was fortunate to travel a lot and start drinking wine. Actually, I was in Chile when I was 12. I'm not Chilean, but I was living there in the French Quarter, so having fine wines at the table from the time I was 12 years old, so and appreciating wines, and my husband loved travel and wines, and so it was a particular passion of ours, was collecting wines.
Okay.
Anyway, so and developing our knowledge and palate before we even put in the first vineyard.
So then it began really as something passion.
Right.
And then did you go around to like the other vineyards, because you're centrally located
Right.
near other vineyards in this area, and did you see like what they were doing, and you said, oh, we could do this too, we could do this very
Yeah.
well here?
Well, anyone who was actually interested in growing their own vines, we went, before we even started, we attended the Maryland Grape Growers Association. Their annual meeting is just a treasure trove of resources, including people, literature, books. you can attend pruning clinics. So that was a shout out to them. And then as we started making wine, we joined the Maryland Wineries Association.
Okay.
And again, they've been extremely helpful.
That's great. That's really exciting, and it's interesting because the other people who I've spoken with, their paths were very similar, where they went to the Grape Growers Association, and it was a resource in helping them decide what they wanted to do. So
Right.
that says a lot about the organization, that not only were they inviting enough that you went there, but you were
Right.
able to garner the information to have a successful winery.
Right.
So that is great.
Yeah.
So you have been in the industry for a few years now,
Right.
and you've had a very successful career outside of that. How did you find parlaying the knowledge that you had in your business acumen into the wine association?
I think that the most important thing for me in business is having both the customers and the staff feel appreciated and challenged, and to realize that I don't know everything, so I need to hire the best people and learn from them, because there's no way you can know everything yourself or do everything yourself.
Right.
So I give all the credit to the staff, all the credit, and all the wonderful people that have taught me things along the way. So I think it's just being open to the fact that you don't know everything, and learning from the experience of other people. And I think that makes any business successful. And again, with the people who walk in, we want them to be part of our family. We don't just want people to come through and get a glass of wine and go somewhere else. We want them to feel like this is their home. And we quickly built our wine club, and I feel that a lot of that was because they knew, one, our dedication to making fine wine, and also to making them part of the family.
Well, you definitely get that feeling when you come here.
Good.
You get that feeling. We, during our wine tours, we always prep people about like what they're going to experience, the number of wines they're going to taste. So we tell them that the tasting room is in your home, and sometimes people will, kind of you'll see them like roll their eyes or what have you, and then they get here and they don't want to leave.
Right.
It's time to go. Let's go. Go on. You have 5 minutes. Let's go.
Nice,
And then for those who haven't been to Hidden Hills, during the summer, there's seating next to the pool. And then people are like, oh, I should have brought my bathing suit.
No. Yeah. Insurance agent, they do not let anyone.
No, they don't. I just want, this is a disclaimer. There's nobody ever has been in the pool. But it's a relaxing environment. From where you're sitting, if you're sitting outside in the tasting room, you see the horses. And I think horses are very calming.
Right.
Very therapeutic, and so you get that good energy.
Right.
You sit somewhat on a hill, Hidden Hills.
Yeah.
You sit on a hill, so you have a nice breeze during the summer.
Right.
And you do have incredible staff here.
Right.
That they're knowledgeable. It's not a place where you go to a tasting room and they're just, okay, let me pour the next one. Yeah,
That's
so
right.
people really do enjoy, and I do have a hard time, time to go.
Right. So we do have plans. We have put in for the permits for Frederick County to build a public tasting room. But right now it's by appointment only, and so Leslie, when she puts a group together, she'll make an appointment. It's very easy on Hidden Hills Farm website. It's kind of like Open Table. You can make an appointment just as easily as you can on Open Table. And but we will be opening our public tasting room, hopefully late spring, early summer, and if everything goes well. So our challenge is going to be maintaining
Right.
that the same experience, although you're in a public tasting room, and we will just be using this home cellar for wine club members
Okay.
at that point.
Okay. And the tasting room still will be on property. It
Yes.
just won't be here.
Yes.
Yes. It'll still be here.
And I'm not telling anybody anything about it till we break ground.
I can't
It's
wait.
a big secret, but it's
Okay.
going to be a great place, and it's going to be very unique. So
That's good.
Yeah.
That is exciting. So I don't want to leave the impression that, you do operate the business, but you are also very active in the wine making process too.
Right.
You're also very active in blending. And so how did you develop that skill?
Well, I don't blend alone,
Mhm.
and we have several wine consultants.
Okay.
So we actually have 2 winemakers involved in the process.
Mhm.
One is from Bordeaux, actually, because my favorite wines are Bordeaux style blends, and that was what was very exciting for me about Frederick County in particular.
Mhm.
So because we're on the Monocacy Schist and we have these beautiful slopes, it is a premier growing area, and I know that over 60% of the grapes from the state are produced in Frederick, Maryland.
Mhm.
So we're already starting with great growing conditions, and several of the grape varieties that do well here are ones that are grown in Bordeaux. So and several wineries have adopted that style as
Right.
well.
Mhm.
So we wanted to make sure we had somebody not from California, but somebody from Bordeaux that was
Right.
also consulting,
Mhm.
particularly on the red blends.
Oh, that's excellent. And so how have you found being an entrepreneur, growing grapes, producing wine, and a woman in Maryland? How do you feel like the community is very inviting to women in the Maryland wine industry and has allowed you to flourish? What has been your
Well, you have to
experience?
realize,
Mhm.
so just as a background, because things are so much better, I actually, when I graduated from college, I worked on Wall Street in the 70s, and when I think of what that environment is, I mean, anything else seems very welcoming to me. So those were very interesting times, and for that reason, it's very important for me to support women. My general manager is a woman. All the staff members, except for my one token male at this point, who's wonderful, and like women's empowerment is very important to me. So, and I think that one of the things we discussed before was that the horse industry was always very dominated by women. They owned most of the horse farms. They owned and operated them, and the idea of being small in stature and being on this huge animal, like you have to learn
Right.
to be in control. So you're in control of something that's moving under you that is much bigger than you and much more unpredictable. So right away you have to find out and not dominate in a horrible way, like dominate
Right.
in a very
nurturing way. Right,
Yeah.
that you're taking control of the situation.
Right.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, well, it definitely comes across here.
okay, great.
It is a good
With
thing.
the domination. We gotta cut that.
Right, exactly.
I can go get the whip.
Oh, and behind us, I don't know if people can see, it's the saddle and all of the gear that's behind us. Are those your boots?
Yes.
Yes. I don't know if people can see that.
Yeah, I tried to get the cleanest ones.
Well, I was up at the stables. I mean, like, it is an active farm. Like,
Yes.
It is
Yeah.
definitely.
I would love if you could get some footage of
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It is definitely an active farm.
Yeah.
So, what is your favorite wine that you make here?
Okay. Well, I am very excited about a new wine that's coming out in the spring, and the name of this is Blue Ribbon Bentley. It's Bordeaux style blend, but just a little history behind all of my wine names. They're either named after horse coat colors, or they're named for particular horses that are very dear to me, such as my horse, Enchantress. But Bentley was one of the original boarders at Hidden Hills, and Bentley's mom is a hunter. She competes as a hunter, amateur hunter, and Bentley has won many blue ribbons, and I wanted to make a blend that was so special for Bentley, and that's going to be somewhat limited, and I bet his owner's going to buy up cases and cases, but yeah, so that's the beautiful blend. I just retasted everything, and I was like, oh, this is amazing. Like, I would like compare this with any French Bordeaux, so yeah, I'm excited about that.
Is it like Cabernet Franc heavy, or is it more Merlot, or is it a traditional blend of all of the
them, yeah.
Okay.
So,
that's exciting.
Yeah,
that's exciting. I can't wait.
Yeah.
I can't wait. Tell people about your wine club, because that's also been very successful also.
Right. I don't think it's too different from most wine clubs. So we have no cost for the wine club, and so it's called the Equestrian Wine Club, and you get 4 bottles a year, and everything you get is at a 10% discount. It's just your commitment to buy 4 bottles a quarter, I should say, and it also comes with special events just for members. When we have popular events, we put it out to the members first, so that they have first priority. And for example, when we have barrel tastings, that's usually filled up by members right away.
Oh, really? Okay.
And again, once we have the public space, they'll have access to this space.
Okay.
And they'll be the only ones. So if somebody wanted to have something intimate here, only members would be able to do that. But there's no cost, and members can come with a few other people and get their friends will get a free tasting.
Okay. I belong to your wine club. A couple of my team members also belong to your wine club. They really enjoy the wine here.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
That's
they
wonderful.
do.
I love your team. She has a great team. Like, it's so great to
I love
work
them.
with.
They are great.
Yeah.
They are definitely great. And it's so funny. We everybody on my team is a woman. It's and we've had men work on our team before, but they just don't seem to stay. Or sometimes my brother he'll work on our team, or we'll have other guys. But it's just it's a bond, and I'm very fortunate that they've all been around for a couple of years now, so they work really well together with one another, and they enjoy coming here.
I don't want to forget that we have a relationship with Days End Horse Farm, where they are a rescue, and they rescue maybe 80 horses a year. I think they rescue more than any of the other rescues in rescue places in Maryland. And last year we did dark bay Syrah, that's not here, but 10% of the profits for that wine went to Days End. We're thinking of other creative ways to partner with Days End. So, and also for those of you who go to the Weinberg in Frederick, I've been on that board forever, I think since I've lived here, and with one brief recess where I wasn't on the board. And so this year we'll have a new wine called Chaladon. Some portion of that wine will benefit the Weinberg. And Chaladon, this is a great story. Chaladon was a racehorse raised in Walkersville, Maryland. And Jack Warner of Warner Studios was a friend of the owner. And so he decided to bet on that horse. So Chaladon won. And Jack Warner said to his friend, well, what can I do? What can I give back to the community? And he said, well, this was 1940. We'd like that Weinberg to be air conditioned. So the Weinberg Theater was then called the Tivoli, and it was the first it was the first building in all of Frederick to be air conditioned.
Oh, wow.
Thanks to that racehorse. So I decided that horse deserves
Yes,
it.
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah.
So we know about the tasting room. I'm really excited about the tasting room. Is there anything when someone comes to Hidden Hills, what they should expect in the upcoming year?
Well, that won't be by appointment only. So once
Okay.
the tasting's open, that will be a public space with hours. You should expect a very unique experience.
Okay.
And that's what I love about what Leslie does, because she picks out very unique experiences. She tries to make sure that her tours, you're going to see something different, a different experience, a different kind of wine, a different venue, and so, but this is I'm very excited.
Okay.
I can't wait.
Well, thank you so much for your time, and I
Thank
really
you.
appreciate it, and I appreciate the contributions, and I am looking forward to the new tasting room
Good.
and this summer at Hidden Hill.
Good.
So thanks,
Good.
Norma. Thanks for your time.
Thank you.
Thanks, Vino 301 family, and stay tuned for